Hello, everyone, and welcome to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm your host, Jaron Rosine. Happy to be back. Our producer is Nick Steffens. Our publisher is Matt Bryant. We're part of the Southeast Iowa Union. Let's see here. I have 4 items of business, actually 5. Hey, if you have a birthday shout out, stick it in the chat. You can also email those to washialive@gmail.com. Same for local events or anniversaries. Just put that in the chat. Let's see, here's the 4 items of business. Thank you to guest host Todd Patterson and guest Amy Martin here on Monday. Enjoy watching someone else do the show, and that's fun.
Do you really?
I do, actually. I watched it in the Chicago.
The one episode where I had COVID, it was kind of one of those situations where
that was weird.
That was a weird situation where I was like, this is someone else in my spot, and I didn't like it.
I would agree. As we get comfortable, but I think it's fun.
Yeah.
So thanks, Todd. Wedding is where I was at, Milwaukee, day in Chicago. I'll show like 3 pictures and say congrats to the couple, Jen and Josh. There they are. Those are my sunglasses. We're just being silly. Here's the next photo, signing the marriage license. Beautiful venue. That was it. Conservancy for Healing and Faith. And here's the group of guys, ushers and groomsmen. And it went well. I was a little nervous because we had like a mix of conservative, like family members in the church, and then wild friends, and everyone found their common Venn diagram. That's good. Everyone found the middle, and it went.
Those weddings are always. I know exactly what you're talking about. Those weddings can be stressful.
But I was honored to officiate, and congrats to them. We have 2 other congratulations before we do our regular business. Julie here at the Journal. 29 years yesterday on the 23rd. Congrats to Julie. That's incredible.
Yeah.
She's our advertising person. So if you're interested in advertising on Washington Live, Julie's who you would talk to, and she's a veteran. So killing it.
I've been here for 3 months, and I just 29 years I can't fathom. Like that,
well, that's older than you are.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. 6 years older than I am.
And then we have one other congratulations. That's to Sarah from Main Street, whose official last day was yesterday. There was a little gathering for her, and I think she's actually going to finish up a couple things. But that application is open, so shout out to the Main Street Washington program, which has an opening for director, and we're going to throw that in the link. If you or someone you know would be a good fit to apply for that position, it's a part of the business partnership. There's the Chamber, Wedge, Main Street. They are separately funded and paid salary-wise, but that's the partnership, and the Main Street Director program. We're looking for a good fit for that role. All right, let's get into the regular business. I run warm, so I went to the gym. I'm all, there we go. My brow was sweaty. What do we have first? Weather, as we speak right now, it's 75 degrees and partly cloudy. Not a bad day. I kind of like how things are tempering down a little bit.
Yeah.
Police report. Oh, here's the breakdown. So 16 animal calls. 63 calls for service. 16 are animal. 9 are traffic. If you notice the theme, we bounce back and forth between traffic and animal being the leader on the charts.
As you'll see, the bats are acting up today. This week, I should say.
At department head meeting, even chief was like, okay, we've had 9 bat calls. And on this list, I think we have 3 or so. We'll find them here. Bats and dogs. First up, this is from the 22nd to the 23rd, dog barking. Next thing, dog and red truck. Next report, again in the same northern part of the county, reports numerous feed trucks go by his business between 0500 and 0800 hours every morning at a high rate of speed. There's kids in the area, request extra patrol. Yeah, they don't mess around, and they are heavy, but that's how we slow them down, keep eyes on the prize. We have another dog barking. Washington, Brighton, all around. Bag of used bandages outside of business. Some sandblasting that was landing on vehicles. They said they would come back later. Hey, we had a fireworks complaint again. Kids setting off firecrackers in the main pavilion at Sunset Park. Subjects were gone upon arrival. Was that something you did?
I promise it wasn't.
Good, it was not you. We had some other people that got arrested or had warrants out for their arrest. We had another dog in a truck. We have a gun that was stolen from him that he just got as inheritance from his grandfather, 9mm pistol. 108 spoke with the caller.
That's the last thing you want to come home and find missing.
Yeah, I would agree. Weapons that have, agreed. We We have a loose husky running around in the area, and here's the bat. The first bat from that day in the bedroom responded and assisted. We'll move to our next day. 7 horses running north on Orange Avenue.
We've had one horse. I think that's a record for amount of loose horses out
We've had
west.
the cows, loose cattle on the interstate.
Chickens. We've had.
I forgot about the chickens. I think that might have been on Todd's. There's so much good stuff, but he's more reserved, and I respect that. Again, I try not to make fun, and if you know the rest of the story, you can always fill us in. We have the pit bull that was running loose. We had a border collie that was running loose and maybe got hit.
Oh, God.
Walked into the UP home. 108 responded. Dog was caught by the dog catcher. They found the owner, and the dog was picked up by the owner. So maybe
Hopefully
recoverable. I know I've had bad dreams about animal injuries. And growing up in the farm, I mentioned the circle of life, much different.
Yeah.
But then this domesticated indoor animal situation is also not, it is different. In Wellman reports we have a student, possibly 2, that smell of alcohol. Requested deputy responded. 1 male juvenile charged with public intox. Juvenile probation arranged for transport. That's bad behavior. Day 1 of school.
To smell like alcohol, you gotta drink a lot.
Do you?
I think so. Like if you're reeking of it, where they're like, you smell like alcohol, I feel like it has to be.
And that's where we get into mental health. There's probably more things going on there, and we shouldn't be so flippant. But also,
I'm just more concerned. Like hopefully that is taken care of.
Oh, this is a favorite, and this is my quick story time, and then we'll get out of here and go to our. Oh, I forgot to mention our guest. I am a little clunky. I should have said it at the beginning because I'm super excited to have Isabella Santoro talking. We have so many things we can talk about today. She's part of the Dodici family. She's an owner of Wingas with her husband Ed. She won the mural essay contest that won the prize for us having a mural here in Washington. And after I get through my pile here, we'll look forward to that conversation. Apologies that I missed.
It's in the caption of the video.
Okay, where did I go? Here we go. Caller reports requests a check on a squirrel that fell from a tree in her yard. She is concerned it is sick or dead. 108 responded, squirrel has been deceased for quite some time. Caller did not answer the door when the officer arrived.
That's unfortunate.
So my mom is a paint, wallpaper, interior designer contractor.
Okay.
And she was painting at a veterinary clinic, and she told me a story about a man and woman that came in, and the husband with an animal, like in a towel, and the husband was like unconsolable, like sobbing, like absolutely not able to be calmed down as they brought in their pet, their cat, to the vet, and they went into the back, and it was like a whole scene, I guess. And my mom is just like, painting. And finally, she's a little more shy than I, like builds up the courage after like lunch break to go and ask the veterinarian, like, what happened with that cat? And the veterinarian did report like, oh no, it was like the squirrel. It was deceased. It was not, people think my mom should write a book. As a painter for 25 years.
I can't imagine the people and stories she's
and that is one of them
encountered.
that sticks out. Other stuff, we have the barking dogs. Again, we have a trespass. We had a gas drive off that has happened. I accidentally did that once.
like where they forgot to take the.
Yeah, or
that's like one of my biggest fears. So I've seen the videos of it happening and like the fire, and so.
Or when you use like auto pay. Oh no, I remember what happened. You always pay at the pump, but then the pump payment doesn't work, but then you've forgotten that it didn't work and you're supposed to pay inside, and then you leave to go out of state and you have left behind done that.
Yeah, my parents were notorious for doing that on trips down to Arkansas. I think it happened twice.
We should finish out our police report and then we'll get to our guest. I know that'll be a highlight. We have a dog barking. At 2204, we have a bat in the house. At 2300, we have a bat in someone else's house. At 2340, 40 minutes later, we have a bat in someone's bedroom. If you know what's going on with the bats, I'd be curious. I don't know if this is a seasonal thing, the change in weather.
Yeah, I think it's getting colder.
Bizarre.
Is it because?
Oh, it is a tiny bit colder.
Because now it's like down in like 80s, 70s, and like at night getting down to 50s. So maybe they're going for warmth. I don't know. I don't know enough about bats to actually give.
You do know about the possum marsupial.
Yes, I do. Because they were top 10 animal.
We should go to break in a second. Before we do, what's our almanac today?
It's my favorite. It's a prune to discourage growth.
Always with the pruning.
Always with the pruning.
We're going to bring back, when we have a banter episode, we'll do our best week of, good week for, bad week for. In the meantime, we'll look forward to the Almanac Best Day at our next show. Our next guest on Friday is Missy Westfall. We're going to talk about Safe Haven Babies and her studio, Stairway to the Stars. In the meantime, we're going to go to break, and then we're going to talk with Isabella Santoro. Stick around to Washington Live. I'm your host, Jaron Rosine. We'll see you right after the break.
At Ace, we're eager to assist you with all your shopping needs. Whether that be finally painting that room, getting ready for the next hunting season, or upgrading your bathroom. Whatever it may be, we'll make sure you get what you need.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Years ago, I was addicted to the hokey pokey. Did you know that?
No.
And then I turned myself around.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm your host, Jaron Rosine. I'm joined by our producer, Nick Steffens, and our guest today is Isabella Santoro. Hi, Isabella.
Hello.
Thank you for being here today.
My pleasure.
I like that we have so much to talk about. These are so many of our guests. We have like multiple hats that we wear. You are of the same. You have multiple hats. Before we get into the sum of those, for those that don't know, would you share a little bit about your background? How are you here? Where have you been? How have you landed back here? Just share a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Well, my claim to fame is my mom is Lorraine Williams. Probably a lot of people know who she is in town. And she is from Washington, but lived in Italy for almost 30 years. So I was born and raised in Italy. My dad is Italian, still lives in Italy. And I moved here. I actually spent a semester my sophomore year of high school here, where I met a lot of people that I still know to this day. It's kind of helped me make connections in town. And then I went back to Italy, came back halfway through my senior year and graduated from Washington High School, where actually I guess I was in high school at the same time as you briefly.
I was going to say we overlapped a little bit, which is great.
And so that's kind of how I was raised. Then I went to the U of I, worked on the East Coast for a little bit in my area of where I got my degree in, which is international relations.
And you were right in the city, right? In New York City, in Manhattan.
East Village was where I lived. I worked on the Upper East Side. Kind of felt like I was in a movie. You know, Working Girl was my favorite growing up. And I got to live my dream, as Melanie Griffith did. But I realized that just wasn't really for me. I always say my lesson is it's just as important to know what you want to do as much as what you don't want to do. So then it can help you figure out what it is you do want to do.
It makes total sense. I love that you've seen that and that you've had the city experience. And then, and I, at the time, and you would come back and visit, I just thought maybe that was your destiny off into the big city. And then was thrilled when you came back here. And as I did too, I didn't know or expect that I would land back in my hometown or love it. And the community connections and the relationships are a highlight for me.
Yeah.
Having one of those with you and knowing these, how we all contribute is special.
Yeah, I definitely feel the same. As I've written in my personal journal and in the essay that we'll get to in a little bit, it's easier to stand out in a small town than it is in a big city. In a big city, you're one of millions trying to make your mark, get ahead, and instead you don't always feel appreciated, for what you do. Whereas in a small town, you volunteer, you contribute, you participate, and you really are seen and acknowledged for that. So it's just a lot more rewarding, I think.
Well, let's hit some of those hats. One of the hats you already mentioned is the Dodici family. You've got the coffee shop and the restaurant, and you've been involved, and I think still are, like managing, right, with your family.
Yep. I started off when I first moved back. They desperately needed someone to manage the coffee shop. So never done that before, but I gave it a shot. Yeah. And I love it. I still essentially do that to this day, but I took on a little more responsibility, helping manage the restaurant and our overnight suites on our second floors. Just kind of overseeing things, doing the social media stuff, training and organizing staff, placing orders, that kind of thing. And I love it. There's never a dull moment, you know. Sometimes I'm cleaning the bathrooms and doing the laundry, and sometimes I'm waiting on customers. Sometimes I'm bartending. Sometimes I'm at home doing the social media stuff.
I can empathize there, as I had the privilege to work for the family when I was in college and working at the pool. I can't believe, has it been 16 years?
This December, it'll be 18 years.
18 years. So my time with the family was kind of in year from 6 months for about 6 or 7 years, right in there. I guess my point is, I left the restaurant industry, and then, like so many have said, like you just leave for a minute and then it pulls you back
Sucks
in.
you back in, yeah.
As it did. I mean, because now you have other hats too that are also going to be in the hospitality and service industry.
Irons in the fire, which are kind of on a whim, honestly. My husband and I bought Winga's Cafe. We have a great relationship with the Wingas. They're lovely. My mom used to babysit for John III
perfect.
and Jane. And my grandma had worked at Winga's, and so did Ed's younger brother, Phil.
I did not
in
know
high
that.
school. He worked at Winga's. Obviously, I've eaten there many times. And
I remember the coffee shop and like the Optimist Club meeting there a little bit when I was in school. But yeah, what a legacy, and what a cool legacy to
And we've kind of
keep
kept
moving.
that relationship to some degree. You know, when Jane comes to visit in Washington, she comes to our coffee shop. We know her kids. They love our smoothies. So we kind of built that relationship, and we knew it was, sensitive subject, I guess. Selling the property had been in the family for so long. There was a lot of emotional ties to
Absolutely.
it. And I think it almost sold several times over the years, but then it would fall through for one reason or another. But when we expressed interest, they were just like, great.
Because the
When can we
sentiment is
close?
so important, and I guess there's no doubt that you will honor that sentiment and the the feelings that are tied.
Yeah, and we've got our background to show for it. What we've done with renovating the Cafe Dodici and turning that building that was scheduled to be demolished into the restaurant that it is today. My husband's a real handyman. He's always fixing things up. We fixed up our old house, rental that we have, and lots of things at Dodici's. So I think they knew the building would be in good hands, if I can say that modestly.
I think just your candor is fantastic. Any updates on the cafe and
Yes.
timeline and whatever you are able to share at this time? What can you
If I had a dime for every time I've been asked that
I know,
lately,
but
which,
we have to ask.
I'm fortunate. Again, if I had been opening a restaurant in, let alone New York or even Iowa City, I don't know that anybody would hardly care, right? But doing it in Washington, especially in such a historic building, everyone is just excited and always asking about it, and I feel honored, really. So I don't mind at all. I'm really just being facetious, but
You're good.
I will say it's not probably the timeline that people are hoping for. So we were awarded a Main Street grant in October of 2021. And so we weren't actually allowed to start any of the work until we found out whether we got it or not. So we started in October, and we have 2 years to complete the project in order to receive our grant funds, because it is reimbursement style. And honestly, it is a full 2-year project. So we're just getting close to halfway through.
Okay.
So projected date of at least finishing the work is next fall, 2023. Obviously, the sooner we open, the better for us too, to get our business going. But we're pretty detail oriented. The building did sit empty for about 16 years, so there's some structural things to take care of, and bringing things up to code.
Do it once and do it right.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not
Take your
really
time.
just slap it together, fix it later. No. Let's just do it right the first time. And even aesthetically, sorry if I'm rambling, but
I think it's good. I was just
okay.
going to say it more. Please continue aesthetically.
Little aesthetic touches, like there was a skylight. There is a skylight, I guess, in the dining room just after the second floor apartment ends, right before the kitchen starts.
Awesome.
That had been covered up for so long that John and Jane at least claimed they didn't even know it was there.
Oh wow.
So we uncovered that. We did have to tear it out and build a new one, and we've already done that, for example.
So after the show, we're going to walk by, and I'm going to ask to no.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
And there's also a skylight in the kitchen, actually, which had been used as a vent for the kitchen when it was Winga's, but we're going to use it once again as a vent since we're putting in a commercial hood. So, and we took down, we could have probably just replaced the drop ceiling after updating the fire alarm system and the electrical stuff, but we chose to instead take down the tin ceiling, do all that work, and then put the tin ceiling back
And similar
up.
with the brick, I believe. I understand
brick,
that.
yeah.
And he did like the timing per second and how long it takes per brick and how many bricks there were
It
just
was
to like
ridiculous.
do rough math.
Let alone doing the tiling above your head for hours and hours. I can hardly, do push-ups and not get tired. Put boxes on a shelf and not get tired. But with the walls, we took down. My husband took down.
Yeah, shout out to Ed for just killing it. Yeah,
I know.
awesome.
I love saying we. When you're married, you can just say we, even though one person does all the work, right? But he took down the it wasn't dry, it was plaster, some wood paneling, anyway, all the way down to the bare brick. And then, I don't know if it's sanded it down or whatever you call, like scraping off the stuff that, like the bits of plaster and stuff on the brick.
Not tuck pointing or anything like that?
No, because it's indoor. Refinished it, yeah. And he
refurbishing.
said it was about 1 to 3 minutes or something like that per brick, and both sides of one entire side is just brick, and the other side is mostly brick. And then he had to coat it with a sealant. It was an incredible
Nick,
amount of work.
this would not be the work for you, would
No,
it?
if there's math involved.
Well, math and physical labor.
Oh yeah, I have a desk job for a reason.
Yeah.
But he has like 3 siblings that all work like real hard.
Yeah.
So we give him
Well,
a
we
hard
each have
time.
our skills, and Ed's the knows how to do it all guy.
So the details that I think, if I can summarize, that we have to look forward to are we have the skylight, we have the original ceiling, and then we have exposed brick. Are things that we'll see that are original
and the original hardwood floor.
and the original hardwood floor. So 4 things to look for in good time.
Yeah.
Before we go to break, I just wanted to say, as far as having businesses on the square, like as a business owner on the square, I'm of the philosophy the more the merrier, and I think it's great. We'll have you, we'll have the cafe, we have Frontier, we have Mango Haziel. That the more reasons that people have to come to our
Right.
little downtown area, the better. And I look forward to it. And maybe we'd have a dip in business for a little while, but then it's just a draw. And I love to see our community continue to draw like that.
And I get a lot of, so is this going to be a competition for Cafe Dodici or JP's or something? I was like, no, I really think it will, it'll lift us
entice each
all
other,
up.
yeah.
Because it's going to be a different, offerings from the restaurants that are already there. Definitely, casual, family friendly, not a, eat there on just special occasions type of place, just an eat there any day of the week type of place with just a different menu from JP's, I'm hoping to so my tagline, I guess, for the decor and the menu is a retro diner with a modern twist.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. So kind of the retro-y look of the long bar with the stools and booths and kind of some kitschy, retro-y things, like with the light shade lamps and keeping those ones that are actually in the front.
I do love those. Yeah, those are super cool.
Cute.
Yeah.
But then also modernizing it a little bit, like, we might have some classic diner item menu items, but also some modern things like maybe really good salads to go along with like awesome greasy burgers,
Which is a real nice
maybe
thing.
smoothie bowls on our breakfast menu, alongside maybe breakfast pizza. Now, don't hold me to any of this. I'm going to probably regret saying all of this because the menu is still an evolving project.
Well, I'm excited to see it, and having both is great. I just went to a place in Milwaukee for this wedding, and it had all in the one category, and it was all the greasy stuff, which can be fun, but to have both, it's I think you serve people well. So I'm excited to have the little taste of the menu and a little taste of what Winga's will look like, the place.
One more thing, sorry. The original soda fountain is there, and it works.
Sweet.
So we're hoping to polish it up and use that. So we'll do the classic where you pump the syrup and add the soda water type sodas, the old school soda fountain. And it has a place to hold ice cream, so we could do root beer floats. Maybe we can do even alcoholic ice cream shakes.
Little treats,
and, just a little.
There's so much to look forward to. Of course, we're going to be waiting. It'll be the fall of 2023.
which, we'll be here before we know it. I mean,
So we might talk about it again before then.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will.
and don't hold me to anything I said today. I always say, I tend to overshare because people ask me and I get excited and I'm like, oh wait, maybe I won't do that anymore. Oops, I already said I would. So, those are some ideas right now.
Well,
but
the caveat is
when the time comes, I will be ready, I promise.
as noted. You're watching Washington Live. I'm your host, Jaron Rosine. I'm joined by our guest, Isabella Santoro. We're going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the mural, the essay, the contest, potential locations. Stick around after the break. We'll see you in a moment.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
For many, farmland holds more than financial value. It holds emotional value. Whether your farm has been in your family for generations or it's an investment, we recognize the importance of your relationship with your land. At Hertz Farm Management, we have been serving landowners in Iowa for over 75 years. At Hertz, we bring a personal and knowledgeable approach to helping customers manage, buy, sell, or appraise farms. We invite you to visit our Washington office and partner with someone you can trust.
Welcome back to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm your host, Jaron. I'm joined by our producer, Nick, and our guest, Isabella. We're going to talk about the mural stuff, which is exciting, real quick, and then we'll play a birthday game, too. If you have a birthday shout-out, please put that in the chat or email washialive@gmail.com. If you know someone that would be a good Main Street director, that's the other thing that will be in the chat, and I'll shout out again. We're looking to fill that position. Okay, let's talk mural.
Yes.
There was an essay contest. Just for someone that knows nothing, give us the ground level.
So I got the usual e-newsletter from the Iowa Department of Cultural Affairs,
Yes.
and I always read through it because that's just how I am. And they announced an #Iowans Unite mural contest, which apparently has been going on for a few years. I'm not sure why I only caught it now, but and basically it's towns can participate. It has to be a city or like a economic development organization that submits a 1 minute max long video about the town. And that's the first step of the contest.
Is that what Randy helped with, your uncle?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I thought, why not give it a shot?
Absolutely.
We have, and I love this town for it, but we tend to be perfectionists, kind of, and so sometimes we're like, oh well, we don't have enough time to create the best video ever, so maybe next year, and then it's always maybe next year, and I think, it doesn't have to be the best video ever.
Well, at least give it a shot.
Let's
Yeah.
give it a shot. You can't win if you don't play, and somebody has to win. So
I like that attitude.
yeah, so I reached out to my uncle, Randy, who does videography just as a hobby. He's done some videos for Café Dodici and family gatherings and stuff. And he was actually in Thailand at the time. So with a 13-hour time difference and no way to get new footage, he just used footage that he'd already had from just his hobby of filming
Which is
things.
amazing,
Yeah.
because the video was
It was
a winner.
It ended up being really, really good, yeah. And he had some drone footage that he used. So just communicating halfway across, or however far across the
quarter
globe
of-
you
yeah,
can
whatever
basically
the-
get. Yeah, we came up with this 1 minute long video that I think turned out super well, and now we can use it for promotion.
Are we able to
promoting
plug
the
that?
town.
Or is there a link for the video?
It's on the Chamber YouTube page.
We will. We'll put that in the chat too. We have a few things to put in the chat, and that'll be one of them.
And
So we were able to vote on that, correct?
Yes, and anyone could vote on that. So we once every day.
Revenues.
Yeah. So we did that. We were, for the size of our town, we only needed 500 votes, and we got like 1,100 something. They cut
Perfect.
off the voting, and we didn't see the final number, but it was over 1,100. So that's awesome. And I was reaching out to I was constantly on my phone, like,
I
okay,
got
vote for the
emails
video.
trying to
vote for the-
remember to vote each day.
And
Is that what led to the essay contest
Yes.
then? Like having that win?
Yeah. So we passed. We were one of 13 communities that won passed the first round, and they had said it was really mysterious. It was like, we're going to have a secret challenge for those that passed the first round. And if you win that one, then you get the mural. And I started picturing all kinds of crazy things. Like, we'll have to do some sort of crazy dance moves as a group in Central Park with a flash mob type thing, And then we get the email, and it says, write a one-page essay that shows community pride and how businesses support each other.
Which we had great submissions. That's why I was just
Yes.
trying to remember everyone that submitted, because I know you did.
Yeah, Kaylin McCain did a
Katie
fantastic
Quinn.
one. Katie Quinn, a very moving essay, and Sally Hart, kind of
Sally.
together with Sarah Grunwald, put together one that was, would have gotten an A+ in school.
They were
for
all
sure.
great,
They were all.
and-
It was very hard to choose. So
I know, that's
I
the
just
part
thought,
that stunk.
I do love writing. I'll just take a stab at it. Now they said they were going to score it based on authenticity, creativity, and passion. Maybe not in that order, but those were the three things. And so I really just one day sat down and just wrote from the heart. Why do I love Washington? What makes me proud to be here? How do I see businesses supporting each other?
Which a lot of we kind of covered in our intro and background and how we exist.
Yeah, and I genuinely feel that way. It was easy
Absolutely.
to write because it was just the truth, And so we had some people, like I think the city council members and the hotel motel committee members and some other kind of
People voted. I think it
interested
was very
folks to
tight, but
vote.
then you snagged the spot.
My essay got the most votes. I just no modest way to say that. I really was touched because, again, I was shocked. I really thought, if anything, I think I voted for Kaylin. So I thought, anyway, oh, wow, mine. Okay, well, I sure hope we win now. Otherwise, it's my fault.
We have video, we have essay, and then we did win.
And then we won, yeah.
And what do we win? Let's update our
So
people.
we win a free custom mural by Des Moines, Iowa artist Ben Shu.
Ben Shu is just doing it.
Believe 1,500 square feet, whatever 30 by 50 is.
Awesome.
And usually I've seen ones they've
Sweet.
done in other towns, and it's like the name of the town with elements of the town worked into the
So we're gonna have
letters and the
multiple.
background.
Oh, sweet.
So
Well,
it's customized to the town.
can we share location possibilities? Is that out there yet?
So next Wednesday, we're having a conference call with the people in charge to kind of nail things down.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a potential location. I'm sure Michelle would kill me if I shared that right at this time. So we will find out soon. Maybe it could be mentioned at the next
Perfect. I
Washington
totally want to,
Live.
because I know where my first choice is of the two
Oh,
that
yeah?
is mentioned. Is it northwest of where the shop is?
No, I don't. I think the one you're thinking of is not the one. Sorry.
Well,
But-
shoot. That's where.
I'm not so good with north. That's the European in me. I'm like north, south, east, west. But no, I
Well,
don't.
we will wait until there's more official things to share as far as locations go, but we will be receiving a mural, 30 by 50, 1,500 square feet.
And
Look
it
forward
is-
to doing more updates.
It is supposed to go somewhere near the downtown or sort of the entrance to the downtown. So that
High
that was
impact, high
intentional.
visibility. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
And
It was
congratulations to all of us, because we'll
so
all
exciting.
benefit from these efforts. That's neat.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We're going to, I think we have a pause video that we're going to show. Is there anything else that I've missed that we should talk about? Is anything cross your mind?
Oh boy.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah. Literally with the new lights.
Oh yeah, we have lights. If you don't notice the difference, well, I'm not sure. It's been a birthday wish for me for a while. My birthday was in May, but we
Well,
have
I hope they look good.
They do.
Because it took me a couple hours.
it's good work. So we're
I
gonna
guess,
go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say something else to look forward to is they do want, they meaning the IEDA, the Iowa Economic Development Authority, is who is doing this mural contest, would like to have it done by the end of September of this year. So it's going to come together pretty quick.
That is going to be fast. We're going to do the pause segment. If we've missed anything, we'll cover it right after that break. And then we will close out with the birthday game. And I have a catering to get to. So we're going to keep on moving. Watch this pause video and see what you could adopt in your home.
Well, it's so we're going to change up the pause.
Oh, it's not a video?
Yeah, so we have this, the dog. What's the name of the dog?
Oh, so that's right. We're changing things. This is Meet Skeeter, go-getter. This doggy is described as a go-getter. Want to get more exercise? Action is my middle name. My let's go lifestyle will keep you motivated to get outside and move. I've got tons of energy, and just like the sun, I'm burning and working. Oh my, that is quite the 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'll run for miles, chase a ball for hours, and still want to play at the end of the day. Parentheses, externally motivated. Looks most like Plothound. Potential problems? Jumpy and mouthy. I don't know what mouthy means. This mouthy animal.
You know when like you go to pet it and it just kind of like
I know.
doesn't like bite you, but just like kind of puts your hand in its mouth.
My cat's mouthy.
Oh, mouthy. Yeah.
Not like it talks back.
So Skeeter is one pet. Shall I go with Shortcake?
Yep.
All right. This meow is Shortcake, love bug, dilute calico. This kitty is described as love bug. Do you seek affection? I do. If you also like petting, purrs, and paws and eating your lap, I think we might have a lot in common. I'm looking for someone who enjoys quiet times and togetherness. Could that someone be you? Skeeter is house trained. Oh wait, Skeeter was the dog. Shortcake is house trained.
Yeah. I really wanted to hear you read off that those descriptions. I'm glad you did.
You're welcome.
Adorable.
Oh, it's like that fashion show when you torture me with
Like
things.
saying crocheted. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a special time. Okay, let's close out our show. Thanks again for joining us and
My
talking
pleasure.
about.
Thanks for having me.
We'll have to do it again. So the birthday game. I have birthday shout outs first. Do we have any in the chat?
We do not.
I had a bunch today. So some of my friends, my Aunt Sue has a birthday today. Happy birthday. Tinia Fogel, Kyle Crone, Tim Schmealer, Anthony Osman, and then some other friends that are out of town. But those are our locals. Happy birthday, everybody. It's like 9 months ago. Anyway, there's a lot of birthdays today. None in the chat. If you ever have one, stick it in there or email washialive@gmail.com. Let's play the birthday game. So rules, would you recap?
Yeah, so the rules of the birthday game is I put a celebrity on the screen whose birthday is today. You have to guess their age. If you're within 3 years, you get a point. If you're right on, you get 2 points.
All right.
I'm also bad.
I'm terrible at this, yeah.
Who do we have first? It looks like we have 4 today.
Yeah, first up we have Vince McMahon, who is was CEO of WWE.
That's right.
President. I'm not quite sure what his title was.
His huevos are probably the size of peas because his arms are the size. Yeah.
He's natty. He's all natural. What are you talking about?
Would you like to go first or shall I?
Sure. I'm
I'm
60.
Gonna go, okay, 60. I'm going to go like 67, I think.
He's actually 77.
Holy
He is putting a lot of money into how he looks.
Yeah.
Starting off strong, 0-0. What do we have next?
I gotta go all the way over. We have Dave Chappelle, the comedian.
Okay, your turn, Jared.
My freshman year of college was right next door at Cedarville. Yellow Springs, his hometown, was like 12 miles away from Cedarville.
How about that?
So I'll go 48.
52.
You guys both get a point. He is 49.
Hey, 1-1.
1-1.
All right, let's keep moving. Who's our next one?
Rupert Grint from the Harry Potter movies. Ron
All right.
Weasley, I believe his name
I
is.
think I'm going to go with 30.
All right, and I'll go 33.
33. He is 34.
Oh, wow.
So
I'm going to squeak ahead with 1 point on that one.
2-1.
Very
So we have
exciting. I have not. Well, anyway, who's doing
It was so close to my age.
So we have the last celebrity is Chad Michael Murray, who played Lucas Scott on the greatest teen drama of all time, One Tree Hill.
I think my sister watched this. Maybe.
No, I don't know if I've ever seen him before, to be honest.
He's upset, not watching. Do you want me to go first on this
Sure.
one? Oh, I'll do 37.
40.
He is 41. So we tie 2-2. You need to stop tying people.
I actually like tying a lot. Competitive nature is satisfied, but
I
then
forgot how competitive you are with games.
so we had some family fights because Sarah cheated. That's why.
She totally heard the buzzer, didn't she? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, these inside jokes. But yeah, highly competitive occasionally with games. And in that restaurant industry, you become, second family for, and I'm so glad that we still have that we're all in it together.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we are today talking about many things, Wingus Cafe, Cafe Dodici, the mural contest. Thanks for talking about all of those things and for being on.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Have I missed anything on the closeout, Nick? Any other business?
It's National Waffle Day. That's about the only thing we missed.
Excellent news.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Hey, thanks to all of our listeners as we grow together. We have a nice rundown of guests to look forward to. If you have a guest suggestion, feel free to send that our way. Our next one will be Melissa Westfall on Friday to talk about safe haven laws, baby adoption in the state of Iowa, and her studio, Stairway to the Stars. Join us on Friday on Washington Live, and we'll see you then.